Hi, it's Anna at Yarn Folk. This is our weekly video recap of our weekly email and blog post. So I started this week talking about a small home improvement at my house. I had a lot of project bags that were piled up on an ottoman in the living room. It was a mess. Didn't like it. And what I did to address that was to install a small 5-hook coat rack at about the same height as the arm of the sofa. And all of the bags can just live there now. All of the bags have either drawstring or handles or some kind of wrist loop, and it's very easy to put them all there. They're easily accessible from where I usually sit on the couch, and it solves a problem. I'm very happy with this. So as far as our calendar goes, June is of course winding down, and we're in the final throes of work in progress bingo. That is a game we've been playing with Cerulean Orchid this month, and it is a chance for you to finish up some of your work in progress and enter to win some prizes. So that's fun. Moving into July, looking forward to July, we have the 4-day knit along with Olive Knits. I'll show you my store sample for Spill the Tea a little bit later. And again, the 4-day knit along is in name only. The knit along runs for all of July, so don't panic if you don't think you can finish a sweater in 4 days. It's fine. And then also we are doing a low-key knit along related to Christmas stockings. So we'll talk more about that in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick tour of some of the new things that arrived in the shop this week. We haven't had a lot of lace weight other than kid silk mohair lace weight. And so this is a new addition. It's lace weight, so we don't have a ton of it, but it is a beautiful blend of 80% Falkland wool and 20% mulberry silk. This is from West Yorkshire Spinners. They're a very proud British yarn brand, and they make beautiful, beautiful products. These are 100 grams. There are 875 yards in each hank, so really generous yardage. And we have I think 6 beautiful colors. There's this rich kind of raspberry color, a beautiful dark blue, kind of a blush pink. On my screen, the teal is not looking as rich as it actually is. And then we have a, it's not a white, but it's pretty close, and then kind of a champagne beige color. Then I didn't mention this, but we did get our back order of the sequin yarn, the Lang paillettes, and that is one that we have a sample held together with Lang yak, and it makes for a really fun sparkly hat. We filled up the shelves devoted to Barocco vintage, some new colors there. So that is a really great basic acrylic and wool blend. Very, very nice to knit with and very practical if you have folks who maybe have some enough demands on their time that hand washing is not really a great option for them. And then let's come over here and take a look at Fortuna. Fortuna is a 90% wool and 10% cashmere blend. It kind of has this spray dye effect. We've got 5 colors here. The ball band lists a gauge of 17 stitches per 4 inches and 26 rows. I think that might be a little bit more open than I would prefer, but there are 132 yards in these balls, and they're 50-gram balls. So this is one that um, knits to a larger gauge than you might think it would. It's really got quite a lot of loft to it. So just some fun bright shades, very pleasant to knit with, and in a little bit I'll show you a project I've been making with it. So one of the things we're doing in July is a very low pressure knit along for Christmas stockings, and I'm going to jump here to the Ravelry bundle that is linked in both this week's email and blog post. So with Christmas stockings, there are many more that are knit than crocheted, but we do have some crocheted suggestions in here as well. One of the things that can be really fun about Christmas stockings is that usually the way that the patterns are written, you can mix and match motifs, you can rearrange the order of things. And then there are also some, like this red and green and charcoal stocking here, that one is crocheted. I think these guys are too. These definitely are. It's totally fine to use colors other than the traditional red and green if it suits you. The Twinkle and Shine stockings here are super duper fun. This one is another crocheted example. Again, with non-traditional colors. The Celeste Christmas stocking, I think, is petite knitter. There are options for toe up, cuff down. I think these woodland stockings are really sweet. The Holiday Doodle stocking is a standalone pattern from Pacific Knit Company. So Jamie's the maker of the doodle decks. You've got cables. I know that there are some in here that are color blocking, so lots of options. And this is a great time to make Christmas stockings you might want to have around when the holidays are here. If there are new family members who need a stocking, or if it's a tradition that you don't have that you have wanted to start, July, it's the time. Okay. As far as what I've been working on, I made the last push to complete my shop sample for the 4-day knit along. This is Olive Knit's Spill the Tea, and it is a vest. Maybe we're going to call those some cap sleeves. It's basically almost just a very natural dropped shoulder. There's a V-neck edged with 2x2 ribbing. The main body is a combination of a simple lace pattern with slip stitch stripes. So the lace pattern is similar to a feather and fan, and then the stripes are, the mustard color is a slip stitch. Those little blips are made with slip stitches, and then there's just a single row of stockinette stripe in the middle. I made this model about one repeat of both the lace and the color work longer than most of the pattern photos showed, and there was still plenty of yarn, so that wasn't an issue. Just to kind of take a look at this again up close, this is very fun to knit. The lace rows are eight row repeats, and then I think that the stripe rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the stripe rows are also 8 rows. They're a little more condensed because of the slip stitches, but as you're working, it really has its own momentum as you're working with it. And again, the yarn I used is Lamana Como. The color pine, the yellow is mustard, and the pink is azalea. Then additionally, I showed this sample that I'm making with the Fortuna. This is the smallest size of Olga Putano's Distance DK scarf, And you can see up close here, these are, it's cables all the way, but it's a 12-row pattern, and the even rows are very straightforward. There's just cabling on six of the rows of that 12-row pattern. This is using a size 6 needle, and it's making a very squishy fabric. So this is a small project. It's just about done. Before I started, I divided the yarn into 2 balls. I kept them connected, but I am confident, having done that, that this is enough yarn. 1 ball is enough yarn to make the small size of the scarf, and if you wanted to make the bigger sizes, 2 balls would do it.